Hi, I'm Councilwoman Jacqueline Gist, and I want to thank you for all the work that you're doing and for your part in continuing a long-standing Carrboro tradition of making change happen in our community. I'm sitting here at the farmers market right next to Town Hall. Some of you may not know that the farmers market used to be a baseball field, and the school, the town hall used to be the elementary school. It was a white elementary school. And down the street, Carmill Mall was, when I got here, was an abandoned textile mill, and Harris Teeter wasn't there. And the fire department used to use old mill houses to practice putting out fires. I don't know if you've priced a mill house lately, but that's really expensive firewood. Carrboro has a long tradition of coming together to create community, and it takes a long time and it evolves. For an example, Carmill Mall. When they were getting ready to turn Carmill Mall, to tear it down, people got together and really worked hard to preserve Carmill and turn it into what it is today. And then Harris Teeter later followed. And then around the same time, there were a group of people who became concerned about the mill houses. Not only didn't they want them burnt down, they didn't want them falling apart, and they really valued the history of the mill houses. So Friends of Old Carrboro, which was very instrumental in preserving the mill houses as well as preserving the mill, got together. Around that same time, people began to think, well, what draws people to Carrboro? We value Carrboro. What draws people to Carrboro? Because Carrboro at that time was significantly less expensive than Chapel Hill, there were a lot of artists living here. So Carrboro began to think, well, we can become an arts and entertainment place for people who are older than college students. Part of that was the Arts Center certainly had started and was impetus for doing that back when the Arts Center was kind of above where Armadillo Grill is now. But Carrboro decided to put money into its vision, and so the revolving loan fund was used to support the arts, to support small shops, to support entertainment, and help to grow that. A lot of what you see around you grew out of that. It wasn't too long after that that the people of Carrboro became very concerned, along with the people of Chapel Hill, about our watershed. Our watershed is the most pristine in North Carolina, and as development started to occur, they wanted to make sure that that was preserved. And so it took several years and many meetings with inputs from many, many citizens like yourselves to come up with the watershed protection ordinance that we have today. Not too long after that, Lake Hogan Farm, where some of you may live, went through a process of being approved and rezoned, and it took a long, long time. But that got us thinking, what's going to happen to the northern part of the town? What do we want that to look like? And that was the first time we ever consciously, very strategically pulled together the citizens of Carrboro to decide what they wanted their future town to look like. And out of that came the Facilitated Small Area Plan, which went on over many, many months and literally involved hundreds of people. Another example of people coming together to decide how they want the town to look is Vision 2020, which is really interesting because I don't think anybody back then had an idea of what 2020 would be like, thank goodness, or maybe we would have planned to have everything distanced. The Vision 2020 group, we refer to their document very often in our deliberations and in our zoning and in our ordinance, but it's not the ordinance. And so as Vision 2020 began to, we were reaching the due date, we're so happy now to have the comprehensive plan. But what I'm most proud of with the comprehensive plan is back in the day when this was a ballpark, and that was a white-only school where Town Hall now is. The Century Center, which we across the street from the Century Center, which was a church at the time, a very good church. I think you know that now in the Century Center we have in bold letters Black Lives Matter, which we're very, very proud of because it holds us to a standard and holds us to our values. Well, back when this was First Day Ball Field, across the street from the what is now the Century Center was a grocery store, where if you were a black mother and you went into the grocery store and a white 5-year-old kid with a pack of gum came in, they would be put in front of you in the line. And the black community here had zoning go against their best interest, and the black community here was very distrustful, for good reason, of the Carrboro Police Department. So as we move forward with the comprehensive plan, what I'm most delighted about is that it not only is going to help us determine how we're going to look, it's also going to determine how we put our values to work. So I am so excited that the comprehensive plan has an overlay of racial equity and justice, because that's as it should be. So as I sit here at the farmers market, which we all love, and I look around the town and I'm so appreciative of how it's grown and changed and yet maintained its feeling of community, I'm so excited and so appreciative of the work you're doing with the comprehensive plan. Thank you for all the work that you've been doing. I was so excited to read your latest report and to see your goals and strategies laid out. And I look forward to the day when we implement the work you've done and Carrboro truly lives up to its values, not only on the ground, but in its heart.